Have you ever woken up and felt like the day was already slipping away? Like no matter how hard you tried, you were just catching up to life rather than living it? I've been there, but I realized that the key to mastering each day isn't found in complicated routines or external solutions. It's about the simple, transformative habits you commit to every morning. And that's what today's story is about. We're diving into 7 morning habits that, when embraced, have the power to transform your life, grounded in the principles of Stoic philosophy. These habits aren't just about improving your productivity or checking off tasks. They're about fostering emotional resilience, developing discipline, and finding deeper purpose, all before the sun fully rises. You have been guided here for a reason, aligning circumstances to bring you to this moment. Before we dive in, I want to share one fundamental thing. You will stay with us until the end. You will feel the urge to absorb every single word because, deep down, you know that this message is meant for you. Let's remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. The habits we form shape our inner world, and from there, they transform our external reality. Are you ready to take control? Let's start with habit number 1, rise with purpose. There's a distinct difference between simply waking up and truly rising with purpose. When I first started applying this Stoic principle, I noticed how easily we fall into the trap of waking up with no real intention. We grab our phones, check our notifications, and allow external distractions to dictate the beginning of our day. But this isn't what the Stoics teach us. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, emphasized the power of intentionality. He said, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for? The things I was brought into the world to do." Rising with purpose means asking yourself each morning, what am I here for? This doesn't necessarily have to be a grand, life-altering question. It's about reconnecting with your personal sense of meaning. You don't wake up just to exist. You wake up to create, to build, and to evolve into the person you aim to be. When I began implementing this, the mornings felt different. There was clarity, a reason to get out of bed, and the sense that each day had its own unique mission. For me, the purpose wasn't just about career goals or productivity. It was about becoming more present, more connected to the now, and less reactive to distractions that used to steal my focus. Consider this: each time you rise without purpose, you're giving away your most valuable asset, time. And time, once given away, can never be reclaimed. Starting the day with purpose transforms how we approach everything, from the smallest tasks to our greatest challenges. And soon, you'll see that this simple act of beginning your day with clarity has a ripple effect, touching every corner of your life. Now, let's explore habit number 2, which is truly a game changer: the power of silence. Yes, silence. It's a word that sounds so simple, yet carries an enormous weight in our chaotic, overstimulated lives. We live in a world that's constantly pushing noise at us. Social media, 24/7 news cycles, endless chatter. And yet, within that noise, we lose ourselves. When I embraced the power of silence, the world suddenly seemed less overwhelming. Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Silence, for the Stoics, wasn't just the absence of sound, it was the presence of thought. I remember the first morning I deliberately started practicing silence. Instead of jumping into conversations or diving into emails, I sat quietly with my thoughts. At first, it was uncomfortable. Silence forces you to confront yourself, your doubts, your insecurities, your emotions. But slowly, that silence became a place of refuge. It became the space where I could hear myself again, where I could sift through the noise of the world and reconnect with my own inner voice. The ordeal of silence is not just external, it's internal. You face the torrent of thoughts rushing through your mind, the distractions pulling you in all directions. But through silence, you learn control. You learn to observe your thoughts rather than be swept away by them. And this practice, over time, builds an unshakable mental clarity. Silence, after all, isn't about shutting down the world. It's about opening up your mind. By incorporating silence into your mornings, you give yourself the space to reflect, to plan, and to truly think. In a world where everyone is racing to speak, the one who masters silence will always be a step ahead. It's in silence that you discover the power to respond rather than react, to act with intention rather than impulsiveness. As we delve deeper, we arrive at our habit number 3, one that can significantly impact your journey: journaling for clarity. For years, I had heard people talk about journaling, but it always felt like just another self-help cliché. That was until I understood how the Stoics approached it. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's most powerful rulers, kept what we now call meditations, a journal of his thoughts, reflections, and lessons. When I started journaling with Stoic principles in mind, it wasn't just about documenting the events of my day. It became a tool for clarity, self-discovery, and grounding myself in Stoic wisdom. Journaling isn't about writing lengthy essays or capturing every detail of your day. It's about distilling the essence of what matters. Each morning, I ask myself, what do I aim to achieve today? What virtues do I need to practice? Where did I fall short yesterday? The simple act of putting pen to paper creates a space where I can reflect on my growth and make real adjustments in my actions. Seneca advised that we cling tooth and nail to the following rule: not to give in to any adversity, not to trust prosperity, and always to take full note of fortune's habit of behaving just as she pleases. In journaling, we observe our emotions without judgment, turning our highs and lows into opportunities for growth. Through journaling, I started recognizing patterns in my thoughts, where I let fear creep in, where I failed to stay present, or where my focus drifted. Journaling for clarity allowed me to see my mental blocks and work through them consciously, aligning my actions with my deeper values. It's like having a daily conversation with yourself, a mentor that guides you towards self-awareness and, ultimately, self-mastery. Moving on to the next key habit, number 4, let's see how it can transform your daily routine with movement and energy. Movement is life. It's one of the most foundational aspects of well-being that so many of us overlook. When I began to intentionally integrate movement into my mornings, I felt an immediate shift, not just in my body, but in my mind. Marcus Aurelius understood this well when he said, "Let the body be strong, but keep the soul prepared for the trials of life." The Stoics believed in cultivating both the mind and the body, and movement was a part of this dual development. I used to think exercise was just about burning calories or building muscle, but then I realized it's not just about the physical benefits. It's about energy. Movement creates momentum. Whether it's a brisk walk, stretching, or a full workout routine, moving your body in the morning wakes up the mind. I found that starting my day with movement boosted my energy levels, enhanced my mood, and sharpened my focus. I felt more alive, more engaged with the world around me. But here's the thing about movement. It's not about punishing yourself with strenuous exercise or pushing beyond your limits. It's about listening to your body, understanding what it needs, and aligning your energy with your intentions for the day. Even a 10-minute stretch can set the tone for a productive, fulfilling day. The key is consistency. Just like the Stoics practiced daily rituals of self-discipline, movement becomes a non-negotiable part of your routine when you view it through the lens of Stoicism. It becomes not just a physical act, but a spiritual one, aligning your body with your higher purpose. And now we turn our attention to habit number 5, a crucial step toward achieving your goals: gratitude practice. Gratitude, one of the most underrated and yet most powerful habits you can cultivate. We often get caught up in what we don't have, what's missing, or what went wrong. But the Stoics, especially Seneca, taught us to appreciate what we do have. He said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future." And that's where gratitude comes in. It shifts our focus from lack to abundance, from fear to contentment. I remember when I started practicing gratitude each morning. It wasn't anything elaborate, just 3 simple things I was grateful for. But the shift in perspective was immediate. Instead of waking up with stress or worry about the day ahead, I started the day with a sense of peace, an acknowledgement of the good in my life. And let me tell you, it's easy to overlook the small things: the roof over your head, the food on your table, the relationships that support you. But once you begin to notice them, it's like your entire mindset changes. Gratitude anchors you in the present moment and helps you face challenges with grace and composure. And here's the twist. Gratitude is not about ignoring life's difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. It's about recognizing the gifts that life has already given you, even amidst adversity. The Stoics believed that true wisdom comes from accepting life as it is, and gratitude is a vital part of that acceptance. It teaches you to focus not on what you lack, but on the strength you already possess. Next up is habit number 6, and trust me, you won't want to overlook this one. This is perhaps the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most transformative practices you can adopt. When I first applied this principle to my daily life, it was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. For so long, I had been trying to control everything: the outcomes of situations, how people perceived me, the events unfolding around me. But the truth is, the only thing I can truly control is myself. My thoughts, my actions, my responses. Epictetus famously said, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." This is where the power of Stoicism lies. The moment you shift your focus from external events to your internal responses, everything changes. You stop wasting energy on things that are outside your control and start investing that energy in improving yourself, in handling challenges with wisdom and strength. It's a practice, not perfection. There will always be moments when we want to control outcomes, but Stoicism teaches us to be resilient in the face of uncertainty. I began to ask myself daily, what can I actually control today? It's a grounding question that brings you back to what matters, your own mind, your own actions. It's freeing, and it gives you back the power you unknowingly surrendered to the world. And here comes the final habit in our list, the number 7, a vital element in our quest for improvement: intentional planning. If you rise with purpose, move with energy, practice silence, journal for clarity, express gratitude, and focus on what you can control, then the final piece of the puzzle is planning. And not just any planning, intentional, mindful planning. You see, there's a difference between a to-do list and a life plan. The former is about tasks. The latter is about vision. I began each week by sitting down and asking myself, what is my intention for this week? Not what tasks do I need to complete, but what values do I want to embody? What progress do I want to make towards my bigger goals? This was inspired by Marcus Aurelius, who constantly reflected on his purpose. He wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Planning with intention ensures that your actions align with your deeper values and goals. It's easy to get caught up in the rush of daily life, moving from one task to the next. But with intentional planning, you bring focus to your day. You become the architect of your life, rather than letting life happen to you. It's not about controlling every minute. It's about setting clear intentions for how you want to show up in the world. And here's the magic. When you start planning intentionally, you begin to notice that you're not just crossing things off a list. You're building a life that's aligned with your values, purpose, and highest self. There's a moment in every journey when you realize that something has changed. Something deep within you has shifted. You've crossed the threshold and can never go back to being the person you once were. And in this journey of cultivating morning habits through the lens of Stoicism, this transformation is not just about ticking off habits from a list. It's about living a life that feels aligned, empowered, and meaningful. You've gone through the trials, learned the lessons, and now you're carrying back the elixir. The wisdom and tools that will serve you for the rest of your life. I used to think that life transformation was this grand, dramatic event, a single moment that changed everything. But what Stoicism taught me is that real transformation is gradual, steady, and often happens in the smallest of moments. Each morning, as I rise with purpose, practice silence, reflect through journaling, and move my body, I am slowly but surely shaping my life into something extraordinary. Every habit is a step, a building block that strengthens my mind, body, and spirit. This is the elixir, and it's available to anyone who is willing to commit to the journey. You see, transformation isn't about becoming someone entirely new. It's about revealing the best version of who you already are. When I began incorporating Stoic principles into my mornings, I started to see life differently. The challenges that used to overwhelm me no longer had the same power. I didn't react to stress the way I used to. My emotional resilience grew stronger. And this wasn't because the world around me had changed. It was because I had changed. Stoicism teaches us that true strength comes from within, from the way we respond to life, not from controlling external events. There's something magical about waking up each day with a sense of purpose and calm. When you live a transformed life, you stop chasing after things, after approval, success, or validation, and you start living from a place of contentment and self-assurance. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And through these morning habits, you learn to cultivate thoughts that are empowering, grounded, and focused on what truly matters. But let's talk about what it really means to live a transformed life. It's not just about feeling better or being more productive, though those are certainly byproducts of the process. It's about embodying the principles of Stoicism in your everyday actions. It's about becoming someone who approaches life with a sense of calm, clarity, and wisdom. Someone who doesn't crumble under pressure, but instead remains centered and focused no matter what challenges arise. When you live this way, people notice. They see the way you carry yourself, the way you handle adversity, the way you radiate a quiet strength. And that's the real power of Stoicism, living in such a way that you inspire others to do the same. One of the most profound aspects of this transformation is realizing that you no longer need external validation. The world is constantly trying to pull us in different directions, convincing us that we need more success, more recognition, more things. But when you practice Stoicism, you begin to realize that everything you need is already within you. You are no longer dependent on the approval or opinions of others to feel worthy. Instead, you find your value in your actions, in how you show up each day, in how you live in alignment with your highest values. Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." And this is where Stoicism truly transforms your life. It teaches you to focus on what is essential, on your character, your integrity, your inner peace, rather than on the fleeting and often meaningless desires that society tries to impose on you. Through these morning habits, you learn to cultivate a sense of contentment that is unshakable. You learn that happiness is not something to be chased, but something to be practiced and experienced in each moment. Living a transformed life means embracing the present moment fully. It means understanding that the past is gone, the future is uncertain, and all we truly have is now. And in this present moment, we have the power to choose how we will respond, how we will act, and how we will live. This is the elixir that you carry back from your journey, the understanding that life is not something that happens to you, but something that you actively shape through your thoughts, habits, and choices. And here's the beautiful part. The journey doesn't end here. In fact, this is just the beginning. Now that you've returned with the elixir, it's time to share it. It's time to take what you've learned and embody it in every aspect of your life. Whether it's in your relationships, your work, or your personal goals, this new way of living will touch everything you do. You will inspire others not through words, but through your actions. You will become a beacon of resilience, strength, and wisdom, a living example of the transformative power of Stoicism. The road ahead will not always be easy. There will still be challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But now you are equipped with the tools to face them head-on. You have cultivated emotional resilience, clarity of mind, and a sense of purpose that will guide you through even the toughest of times. This is the power of Stoicism, and it is available to anyone who is willing to commit to the journey. As you continue to practice these habits, remember that the journey of self-improvement is never truly complete. Each day is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become a better version of yourself. The Stoics understood that life is a constant process of refinement, and they encouraged us to approach each day with the same level of commitment and intention. As Marcus Aurelius reminded us, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. So, how will you continue your journey? How will you live a life that reflects the values and principles of Stoicism? The answer lies not in grand gestures or life-changing events, but in the small, consistent actions you take each day. It lies in how you choose to rise each morning, how you practice gratitude, how you move with purpose, and how you focus on what you can control. This is the elixir, and it is yours to carry with you always. Now it's your turn. Start small, choose one habit, and integrate it into your morning routine. Let us know in the comments which habit resonates with you most and how you plan to incorporate it. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Stoic Home for more insights on Stoicism and self-improvement. Together, we can build a community grounded in wisdom and personal growth.